Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big.
Little in the middle, but she got much back.
Hey guys, Coach Ben Lee here, checking in day 4 of 30 days of epic knowledge that I'm breaking down the barriers of education for you women out there so that you can learn exactly the methods that I use to help achieve lean legs and a tight stomach and get that body that you're always after. So day 4, what we're going to cover today is gut health. Something that you're probably not going to read about in magazines. Even your trainer, a lot of other people aren't going to talk to you about. And gut health is a major issue when it comes to treating women to achieve optimal body health and composition. Reason being is, girls, you have hormones that us blokes don't have, and so therefore your little delicate endocrine system gets disrupted very easily if your gut health is not 100%. Now, going to take it back a little bit and talk to you a little bit about food as a general rule. Okay, so food as a general rule, what we need to start off with is single ingredient food. Now, single ingredient foods, a lot of you might have heard clean eating, paleo. Okay, this is the kind of terminologies that are getting thrown around these days. So this is food that is what we find in nature. So there's no preservatives, no additives. How it is how we eat it. And the reason why we want to start ingesting these foods or having these foods regularly in our diet is because these foods have what's called a rotting process. Okay, so they have enzymes there that can be broken down that can help us digest those foods, okay, and absorb the nutrients from those foods. Very important for someone that's trying to lean out, okay, and the reason being is these foods are also going to help increase with satiety, okay, so satiety, fullness, okay, so helping keeping you fuller for longer. Now, what happens is foods these days are fortified, and what I mean by that is that they've gone and taken what was once good about a food to give it a longer shelf life, and now they've become devoid of nutrients. So you look at simple things like oats, okay, so oats, they've gone and manufactured them to roll oats, and then further down the line, you've now got 1 minute oats. So the more that man has had to mess with a food product, the less nutritional value that's within that product. Yes, it is a carb, but does that food contain nutrients that's going to support our general health and well-being? Probably not. Okay, so tip 1, single ingredient foods predominantly. Now, if you've got 10, 15 kilos to lose, you should not be having any other foods but these foods in your diet, okay? Paramount, because we need to get your digestive system back on track. And what I mean by that is that if you've been constantly eating the same foods over and over, your digestive system is struggling to absorb nutrients. So yes, it is digesting food, but it's not absorbing nutrients, okay? So this is paramount. Our bodies need to be able to absorb these nutrients, and the reason being is that each individual has a different DNA makeup, and so we require different phyto and micronutrients. So that's how come Sally can eat, bread, and Aaron can't, because the different genetic makeup won't allow them to function optimally with those foods. So yeah, they can eat them, they can digest them, but they might not have the certain nutrients in there, okay? Now, studies and research back this up, what I'm talking about. If anyone wants to argue the point with me, well, you need to go and sort your facts out, okay? Now, the purpose of increasing your intake of single ingredient foods, like I was saying before, is that they have the process to to rot, okay? And so it makes it easier for our digestive system to break down the food and absorb these nutrients. Now, the reason why the paleo diet and clean eating gets such a good rap is because often from the ages we are born, we are fed dairy and we are fed wheat, okay? And so what happens is, because we've been eating these foods over and over and over and over again, what happens is the enzymes within our stomach have downregulated. They can no longer digest these foods or break these foods down as once they used to. When this happens, we see inflammation, okay? And then from inflammation, we start to see the increase of a decrease in our immune system. So we're not supporting our immune system anymore. I won't talk about that because that's another whole podcast or blog. But so we need to be supporting our immune system with good nutrition habits, okay? Now, it's not to say that once these things are down-regulated, we can upregulate them. So what I suggest is getting a hold of a great digestive enzyme to help boost your digestive enzymes, okay? So if you've got healthy enzymes within your body, what's going to happen then is these enzymes then gather the nutrients from the food that we eat to carry out and stimulate the release of hormones. Okay, so as a general rule, the macros or so the micronutrients or the macronutrients and the phytonutrients, so we break them down to provide energy. So this is what I was saying before about women when it comes to supporting your hormonal system, your endocrine system with your estrogens, progesterones, and testosterones, things like that in your body. So this is why I come across a lot of women that have been eating a poor diet for such a long time that they're struggling to lose body fat because they haven't been supporting their hormonal system, okay? So we need to support that system by increasing the intake of single ingredient foods. But not only do we want to increase our single ingredient foods, but we need to rotate them, okay? To help upbuild our digestive system, upbuild those enzymes and get them regulating and get them moving again, okay? Now, what you have, let me start again. So what happens is, in this industry, we all get fed, good foods versus bad foods. And one of the predominantly things you'll always hear about is, chicken and broccoli. Now, I've experienced myself, going down this path, and what happens is, you start to get sick of eating this food. Well, this is your body telling you that you're struggling to digest that food, okay? So we need to rotate. What I want to see is what you have on Monday, I shouldn't see that same food in your diet again till at least Wednesday, possibly Thursday, okay? So this goes for veggies, everything. We want to try and eat as seasonally as possible. All right, so like I said before, people respond differently to to digestion a little bit differently and absorb foods differently. And so, like I was saying before, research suggests that we have slightly different DNA, and this is why we react slightly different and have different responses to food we eat, i.e. celiacs, gluten intolerances, these types of things, okay? Now, I'm pretty sure that's going to cover me up on gut health there. So the take-home points from this, guys, is that rotation of foods, okay? Single ingredient foods as well. We want to increase that as much as possible, okay? The reason being is we want to get in those phyto-micronutrients that our body needs. Going back to podcast 3, what I spoke about last night with what I needed to do with my liver to help my liver was my body required different phyto-micronutrients. And how did I find that out? Because I went and got a blood test done. I got my blood analysis done, got that sent off to the States and had that analysis came back. And it came back with foods that I needed to include and foods that I needed to exclude. And one of those foods for me to exclude was zucchini or squashes as well, okay? So that's me signing off tonight, guys. Ben Lee, peace out.